I think the job of being a teacher is so rewarding in so many ways.
The connection between you and the whole class, that's still unbeatable.
When my pupils are successful, it feels incredible.
I think the greatest thing for me is seeing the pupils that I teach love the subject as much as I do.
I don't think there's any other job where you get the same satisfaction.
That's why I chose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search, apply to teach. Selected subjects only, subject to eligibility.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio. With your host, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
Here we go.
Welcome to Gamertag Radio, episode 634. This is your host, Danny. And joining me this week, the Gamertag Radio crew. We have Pete in the house.
What up? I'm full of coffee.
What up? And also Paris.
What's going on?
What's going on, guys? How's everything?
It's good. Everything's good. Welcome to the new era of Facebook Live. I can't believe I did that yesterday.
Yeah, I did that for the past few days too, man. I think the first time we ever tried that was like sometime last year during E3. We streamed and it was good. It was good. We got a lot of views, and that was just during E3, and then we stopped for months, and then I started doing Facebook Live using my phone. So it's been good. It's good. Pete, you got to start doing it too, Pete. It's a lot of fun.
Nobody wants to see Scumbag Live.
Well, at least try. You should try, though, to see what happens.
We'll see. Feedback. I mean, all jokes aside, and for people listeners going, what the hell are you talking about? If you like our Gamertag Radio page on Facebook, Danny and then myself right after him, we did some Facebook Live videos, and people, we were just answering questions and all that. I mean, God, I think I went... How long did I go? Actually, I'm looking right now. 30? I went 57 minutes. Me,
wow,
yeah.
I thought it was shorter than that.
No, I went for a freaking hour just answering questions, just talking, So it's funny because, like, a matter of fact, I know we got some voicemails and stuff on here, and ironically enough, I answered a lot of them there. So how about that? Go like our page on Facebook and watch our videos, and you might get all your answers. But no, it was fun, man. I definitely want to do that again. I mean, I think that's a great way to interact with people, and it kind of makes it more personal because people get to see our face. Like, I was at my house, so people were like obviously being nosy, looking in the background. Hey, what's this? What's that? What you doing? So it was good.
That's cool. Yeah, Pete, let us know when you plan to stream yours, man. Because let me tell you, Pete's room. It's actually pretty cool, man. It has some.
Yeah,
cool
I gotta have something like that just frosts me, like that gets me upset, so then I can just go on a rant.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you don't.
Yeah, you can do that too.
But you don't even need that, dude. Like, literally, we just flipped the switch. I was like, okay, somebody asked me something, and next thing I know, I went down a rabbit hole of answering 10 million different things. Crazy.
Yeah, it takes some time. It takes some time for people to send you questions and stuff. And then after that, dude, I was like doing it for like 20, 30 minutes. And then Paris like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go on right after you. And I stopped, and then he went within like in a couple minutes after I shut down.
We'll see. This weekend, I don't know if this weekend's a good idea. My office is a mess. I'm building shelves. I'm a woodworker. I'm a woodworking scumbag right now. So there's stuff all over the place.
Next time. Yeah. All right, so head over to gamertagradio.com or play.it/gamertag. Listen to our past episodes, and you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and other podcast directories.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
And this week we have an interview with Rich Taylor. He's from the ESA, and we had a great conversation about why E3 is open to the public. So I'm going to play it later on during this episode of GTR. But first, we have a lot of voicemails and emails here, and I think it's time for fan mail.
Fan mail at gamertagradio.com.
Fan mail. Oh my God. I think I just died.
Somebody's really sick.
I think I legitimately died trying to do that.
Hardcore. I think you need medicine, man. Yeah. That's not good.
No,
not good.
no.
All right. So I'm going to play the first voicemail. This is about Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Hey, what's up, Gamer Tag Radio? This is Kendall from Missouri, and I've been listening to you guys' show for the last couple of months. You guys get me through my workday, so it's pretty awesome, so I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. So really, my question is kind of about Ghost Recon Wildlands. You guys have been covering this game for a while now, and I've loved hearing all the details that you guys have thrown in about it. My question is, I've been playing a lot of Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist recently. I absolutely love the co-op aspect of that game. I know it's a little old, but I can hop on, play with some close friends of mine, and have some of the best times gaming ever. So I really, really love that game. And I was wondering how closely Wildlands resembles that game. As I watch gameplay, I see similarities, and I kind of want that same exhilarating co-op feel that you get with Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist. So I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that comparison. Thanks, guys. Later.
All right, so how close is this game to Splinter Cell Blacklist? And I think, Pete, a couple episodes ago, you mentioned that Ghost Recon reminds you of all of your favorite games that came out from Ubisoft throughout the years. What do you think about this? Is it similar to Splinter Cell Blacklist?
It's funny, I actually had to go after listening to the question, was go back and watch gameplay footage of Splinter Cell Blacklist, because I to be quite honest, I hadn't remembered playing that game. I don't know if I even played it. I don't know if it's similar simply because in Splinter Cell, obviously you're Sam Fisher, you're by yourself, whereas in Wildlands it's not just you. You've got 3 other players now, whether they're human or they're AI controlled. It's very hard to toe that stealth one person against all lone wolf mentality when you've got a team of people that you can sit up and you know granted you still have the technical little toys and gadgets that Sam Fisher had, with drones, etc., but it's not the same. So I would probably say that it's styled, or it's got similarities where you can do the stealth thing, because you obviously in Ghost Recon Wildlands, you have the option. You can go guns blazing. You could do what I did, jump out of a helicopter and drop next to the helicopter and take their helicopter without ever pulling a trigger once or killing anybody. But like I said, it takes a little bit of everything that I think Ubisoft's had in their previous lifetimes of games, and it just merges them all in. And I can't wait till March 7th. Okay.
All right. What about you, Paris? Anything you want to say about that?
Blacklist, I actually didn't play it, so I can't give a direct comparison of it. I mean, but like Pete was saying, just everything about Ghost Recon and anticipating it come in March. I mean, I pretty much agree with it. For me, when I think about Splinter Cell games, and like he was talking about Ghost Recon, I immediately start thinking about Chaos Theory and just some of the things that they did on the multiplayer side with that, with regards to Ghost Recon. And while, obviously it's not a 1-for-1 kind of thing, I mean, you can kind of tell where Ubisoft has looked into the past, some of their past games, to pull elements out to bring into the whole open sandbox that they're doing for Ghost Recon Wildlands. I was talking about this yesterday, ironically enough, on the Facebook Live thing. I would say to Kendall that, if you're curious about Wildlands, if you're not 100% sure, if you didn't play that demo, the beta that was just out last week, just wait until after March 7th. Wait until it launches. Wait until you see what people are saying about it, and then kind of make up your mind. Obviously some review scores and all that kind of stuff. But my personal opinion on Wildlands is, while it does some great things in the co-op space and in the open world space, there's some other things that, the development team still needs to tighten up. And, from our personal experience getting to meet the development team and talk to them, they aren't going to be done with the game on March 7th as far as supporting it goes. So I'm sure they're taking a lot of this feedback in. And while it may not be perfect day one, I could see down the road with them continuing to update, like the driving and the flying and things like that, where they'll update it and improve it down the road. But again, it's your $60. It's your choice. Like I tell everyone, don't just trust what we say or what IGN says. Kind of wait until the people have it and see what people are saying on social media and what your friends are saying before you make up your mind 100%.
All right, so this email is from Jeremy. He's all the way from Colorado. Hey, Gamertag Radio crew. Have you ever started a game that just didn't grab your attention? So you put it on the shelf, went back to it at a later date, and absolutely loved it. Any games like that? Well, thanks, Jeremy.
I don't know if I really go back and play games after I beat them and put them on the shelf. I know a couple of years ago we tried doing that with a game session with the community, and we ran out and bought Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter #1. We tried to do that, and it just didn't sit right. It didn't feel the same. So I guess it's subjective to the person. I'm not the type of person to jump back and go like 3 generations and play a game again. Maybe I would have that with something like something iconic like a Super Mario Brothers. But for the most part, once I'm mentally done with a title, I'm done. I usually don't play it again.
But I mean, I think Paris. This question reminds me a lot of what Paris said a couple of months ago. He got on Uncharted 4. He played for a little bit. He's like, eh. And now when he got the PlayStation 4 Pro and he started playing Uncharted, he loves the game. Is this similar to Paris? This question?
Don't talk for me. I can talk for myself.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. It reminds you of that. Actually, it reminds you of that.
Actually, I thought about Uncharted 4 right, when you were saying that. That would be kind of a recent example, but in my opinion, I think a better example of this for me would be Fallout 3. I remember that came out, and there were so many great games that came out during that time that it came out. It didn't grab me right away, and I kind of put it on the shelf. I'm like, this just isn't for me. And I think it was almost a year before I picked it back up again, and then I just kind of sat down. I was like, let me get into this, and then I just sat and gave it some time and got a little further into the game, and then it clicked, and then I absolutely loved it, and then I just powered through it, the whole thing, the DLC, all that, and just loved Fallout 3. I thought it was fantastic. And then, obviously, New Vegas and those things came out, and I kept playing Skyrim, etc. But yeah, it took me a while to actually get into that Bethesda Fallout, RPG style. And then once it clicked in my head, I was like, oh, this is great. But, I'm sure there's other examples of games like that. Like you said, the most recent one would be Uncharted 4, where it wasn't that I disliked the game or anything. I mean, I was liking it, and then it kind of started getting repetitive, for about 2 or 3 chapters. And there was other games and stuff I wanted to play. And I was like, I'll get back to it later. And then I just sat on it for a while. And like I said, I just started picking it up again here a few weeks ago. And yeah, now I'm loving it. Now I'm into the later chapters. I think the later chapters really shine and show what Uncharted 4 is really all about.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
All right, so we have another voicemail. This is going to be a good one. This is from Leverhead Gamer about a Nintendo Switch.
Level-headed gamer. Don't butcher his name.
Lever-headed.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I said level. Did I say level?
Said lever-headed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my bad. Level-headed gamer. There you go. And this is about the Nintendo Switch. He called twice. Let's play this voicemail right now.
What's up, Gamer Tag Radio? This is Levelhead Gamer. Had a question for you guys from episode 630. And please don't write this off as fanboyism. I own all these platforms and enjoy all of them. I just want to ask this about the Nintendo Switch. I hear parents say that the Nintendo Switch is overpriced. So I'm taking it that that's his opinion and educated guess. And I would love for him to qualify the guess. One reason is you have a lot of people that are influenced by what you say. And you had that example on the last episode where the guy took back cancel this pre-order for the Switch based on what Paris said. Also, there are others out there, developers that have actually had hands-on with the Switch that are saying otherwise, like Bandai Namco, Capcom, Platinum Games, and a few others. So if he believes it's overpriced, where is he getting this information from? Is it just based off of the rumors? Is it based off of what people who haven't experienced it says, like the Michael Pachters or the Eurogamers and people like that, or Digital Foundry, or is it based off of some real insider sources that are telling him that it's overpriced? I would love for him to answer that, and you guys, the dialogue about that on the next podcast or whenever you can. Appreciate what you do. Enjoy what you do. Keep doing what you do. This is your boy Levelhead signing out. Deuces. Levelhead Gamer again. I know I just left a message, but I wanted to make sure this gets in there. Please do not quote the Respawn guy because he has not played the Switch. And the reason I quoted the three developers that I did is because they also said that they were shocked that Nintendo was able to get the Switch at that price point, knowing what's in the hood, under the hood, and what's in the Joy-Cons. Those developers said that they were shocked that Nintendo was able to meet that price point. So just wanted to add that to what I said already. Like I said, continue to do what you guys do. Listen to you regularly. Enjoy your stuff. Don't agree with everything, but I enjoy a lot what you do. And till next time, folks, deuces.
Now, he wants to make sure that people know that he's not a Nintendo fanboy, according to him. So, your thoughts, guys, especially Paris. He called you out.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm pretty sure we've clarified that. And I know he sent this voicemail, you said like a couple weeks ago or something like that, right? But I know we've clarified it. And here's the thing. It's an opinion. It's my opinion. I don't have any insider evidence or anything that I think it's overpriced. And like I said, even in my clarification, I don't think the $300 price is crazy. I mean, I'm not like upset that it's $300. I've just always thought that the $250 price point would be the sweet spot for the Switch. $300 isn't crazy. It's reasonable, just in my opinion, a little on the higher end. What I do think isn't reasonable are the prices of the accessories. We've gone over that already, a few times. We even had a voicemail from last week talking about it, so I won't repeat that again. But my thing is that, no, I don't have any specific information about the internals or what the developers may be saying about the price point. Getting it at $300 is reasonable. My main issue has been, and still is, I'm not sure for me that Zelda is enough for me to go chase this thing down on launch day. I'm going to wait it out. Wait to see what Nintendo's probably saying at E3 about more titles. And obviously by the time Mario Odyssey comes out, that's when I'll get it. I'll wait till this holiday. And that's pretty much all I've been saying. I mean, I know he's very passionate about Nintendo, and, we go at it on Twitter all the time. He's always challenging me on the things that I say, which I love. I encourage people to do that because I don't know what the hell I'm saying half the time. But, no, I don't think it's overpriced. I just think it would have been better to see it at $250. But hey, look, so far, I mean, it's selling out, which it's a Nintendo. It's a new console. I fully expect that. And, we'll see through the summer and into the holiday, what people are saying about it. And I think really that's all it comes down to. But the $300 price point is fine.
Yeah, he also mentioned that because of your opinion, it basically made people change their minds. They probably pre-ordered the Switch after hearing you saying about the $300 price point.
Okay, no, get it right. No, that is not what I said. See, you just followed
wait. Hold on. I'm just saying what he said on the voicemail, that because of your opinion, you influenced people to stop the pre-orders.
Yeah, but my opinion wasn't about it being $300. My opinion was about there ain't enough goddamn games at launch to make me want to go spend $300 to go get it. I never once said, don't get this because it costs too much. I said, there's only one game to get this for, and that's Zelda. And if Zelda isn't for you, wait. And if you got a Wii U, wait. That's all I was saying, because I have a Wii U. I want to see what people are saying before I go get it, because if it turns out that the definitive version of Zelda is to play it on the Switch, then I'm going to play it on the Switch. But if there's really no difference between playing it on the Switch or playing it on the Wii U, I may just wind up getting it on the Wii U. that is to be determined. I can tell you this, I'm not going to make that decision anytime soon in the month of March. If I do get Zelda early, it'll probably be like right before E3 or something like that, right? Late, early summer, or something like that. But if it does turn out I want to get it on the Switch, then I have to see, all right, let me see at E3. Let me see what other games are coming out. Do I want to just wait until Mario Odyssey and then just pick up Zelda and Mario Odyssey all at once and then do it? Or, do I get a Switch earlier than that? Yeah, you know what I mean? Play Zelda, and then I know Mario Odyssey's coming in a couple of months after that. So, we'll see. But I never once told anyone to not get the Switch because of the price point. Let's be specific on that. It's all choice. Again, it's all choice. You do what the hell you want with your money. I ain't telling no one how to spend their money because you spend it however you want. I'm just telling you what I would do, and you don't have to listen to me because, again, I don't know what the hell I'm saying half the time anyways.
You guys want to read an email?
I guess
Pete is looking to say nothing, huh?
Oh, whatever. I'm trying to go with the flow, man, so.
Right, yeah, go with the flow. It means Pete's got nothing to say. Have a nice day. I'm out. Oh, Daniel.
Well, are you going to say anything, Peter?
Oh, I don't know. I figured
whatever you want, Pete. Say whatever you want.
Not whatever I want, because if I wanted to say what I wanted to say right now, we can bleep it out the show anyways. With regards to the overpricing, we've beaten that over the head substantially. You're talking $500 before you even buy the game, $550 and up. Once you start accessorizing, 32 gigs is not sufficient to run a next gen console, regardless of whether you're last gen or this coming gen with Scorpio and all that. 32 gigs is paltry at best when you're talking about a console. And then again, it's subjective. Hand size, I don't think the Joy-Cons are a solid alternative to adults or something like that trying to play the Nintendo Switch. So if you're jumping into that, you're going anywhere from $70 to $100 and something if you're going to get another Pro Controller, if you're getting a grip and two Joy-Cons. So before you even get a game in the system and turn it on, you're already talking about $500 to $600, where you could probably do a lot better by getting a PlayStation and or Xbox One S at this point. And like Paris said, there's not enough library unless you are someone like Mandy who is above and beyond the level of game fan of the Zelda series. But there's nothing that's compelling enough to jump into the Switch day one, other than, I guess, you're a big Zelda fan. Wait. And I agree with Paris. We're not saying don't buy it simply on the price. Don't buy it right now because you don't know what it's going to be like once it runs day one. There could be hardware issues. You don't know. And on top of that, limited catalog of games to play. So,
okay, let me read this one because this flows right into the Switch stuff. All right, ready?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, this one is from Arnold, just to continue our Switch talk really quick. Hello, GTR. This is Arnold from Minnesota, longtime listener, first-time email. Well, thank you. Here's what I'm thinking. Wouldn't it be more effective to purchase 2 Nintendo Switch units for $600 rather than a single unit with additional accessories? If you do the math, the difference makes it easier to justify. You'll have 4 controllers, 2 docks, and 2 tablets for a difference of $150 to $200. You'll also be set for multiplayer games if you follow this logic. Thoughts? Thanks and great work. Okay, the fact that you had to do the math and say it works out better to get 2 Switches at $600 versus having to just buy accessories, along the way proves my point. I rest my case. I'm done. I have nothing else to say on it.
And you still don't have any additional storage. You still don't have any games. So you're still, even if you went by that logic, you're still $600 in the hole before you get a game. I don't know. And if you're going based on the lore and the history of Nintendo and Nintendo's IPs, then, I mean, if that's your cup of tea, go for it. I just don't know if there's enough right now, day one, other than Zelda. And I don't.
Well, I'm buying mine. I could care less what people say. I'm buying it, and I have Zelda. I'm good with that for a while.
And you are all welcome to do that. It's your decision, your opinion. You have a Wii U. You could just get it on the Wii U and not have to worry about it. But I don't know.
But Pete, if I don't want to do that, I want to play the Switch. Don't make me go play the Wii U. I know. I'm just messing with you.
I just
want to start a debate.
Do you, boo boo?
Thank you, sir.
I want to read another email.
Oh,
and this one isn't about the Switch. Thank God. Let's move on from that. So,
all right.
This is from my good friend Mike. Because he loves me so much because I'm so negative, and he says, "Hey guys, I would find it interesting to hear your take on the recent console releases without the use of E3 to promote the systems. Sony felt free to release the PlayStation 4 Pro without the E3 stage, and now the Switch release is going about the same way. Do you think Microsoft should consider holding back the Scorpio and have their own event 2 months out from release?" Okay, here's my thought on this. I actually think they're going to have it. It'll be similar to Xbox One. I think they'll have an event before E3. They'll probably do something at Microsoft campus maybe a month before E3, and they'll do the unofficial unveil of the Scorpio. Probably not talk about price or release date at it, but just show off the hardware. Hey, here's the lock specs. Like I said, do a demo of Gears of War 4 or something at 4K Ultra or something crazy like that and get everyone excited about it. But overall, what he's saying is just obviously with what's been happening here in the last week or so with E3 and everything, just proves the point. Again, these companies don't need E3 to launch their products anymore. It's just with the way we are right now in technology and with social media and the way that these companies can just hold their own events and still reach their audience just as effectively, they don't need the stage of E3 to do it. So I don't know. What do you think, Danny?
That's very interesting too, because Nintendo, they didn't have no Switch during last year's E3. That was just strictly Zelda and just a couple 3DS games. That's it. So yeah, they even had their own event to promote this new console, which is coming out in a couple weeks. So yeah, I mean, times are changing. I think before, yes, they needed E3, but now they really don't need it for to promote a new console, a new product or something. So yeah, that's very interesting when that's happening. And I think that we might see Microsoft having an event a month or a couple weeks before E3. I could see that happening for them to invite the media, YouTubers, and influencers to attend the event, get to see the console and so on. And then during E3, the press conference, then they'll show more stuff and they'll reveal the price and maybe the release date and everything. So yeah, I agree with Paris.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say you're wrong.
Why?
I think with all of the hoopla and the spectacle of E3, there's no need to fly in and bring in a whole bunch of influencers to see something you're going to announce on the world's largest stage in gaming in June. Let them build out. Hold on, you've had your opportunity. Let them build out.
Pete, you can't do that because someone said that you're being mean to Danny when you.
I know,
right? I know.
Again, see, do you guys really want this?
Shout out to those that defend.
Do you guys really want this on Facebook Live? Come on now. Angry Book Live featuring Scumbag Pete. No, I think this gives Microsoft an excellent opportunity to build out, plan out, think out, and execute their launch expectation at E3 with every single eye in the gaming industry pointed at them. Whereas when you take it and you do what Sony did and Nintendo, now everybody's already gotten their equipment out. Everybody's waiting on Microsoft. And I think Microsoft appreciates that and they enjoy the fact that now they've got the eyes and the ears, obviously, because we don't want to have podcasters left out, but they've got everybody waiting to see what's going on with Scorpio, what's with the Scorpio, and that's going to make, in my opinion, a full-on E3. We saw what they did last year. Nobody was expecting it. and they dropped the hammer at E3 about Scorpio, and everybody was just like, I mean, Paris had the eyes open, like, woo! Everybody was excited. And I think all of that leading into E3 and then them dropping everything, here's what it looks like, here's what to expect, here's the price, here's the launch date. I think it's a perfect opportunity for Microsoft to just jump on that and go.
I disagree with Pete because, PlayStation 4 Pro, it wasn't announced during E3, or it wasn't like they didn't have like a video or anything during E3. They had their own event just about PlayStation 4 Pro. And look, Paris purchased a PlayStation Pro, and other people purchased that too.
Because it was
Nintendo Switch. You have your turn, Pete.
No,
it's my turn.
No, because it was a reaction to E3. It was a reaction to E3 leading into the holidays. That's why they announced it that early.
But look, even the Nintendo Switch, they got all their attention. Nintendo got all their attention because there was no E3, there was no other event. It was just strictly a press conference about the new console, and they got the most attention. And that also helped them to get a lot of pre-orders for this console worldwide.
And here's
so here's the thing. What makes you think Microsoft not going to do the same thing? Have two events. They've done that before in the past to promote multiple consoles. When they did that for the Xbox One, I believe they've done that for Xbox, not Xbox One, the original Xbox. They've done it also during the launch of the Xbox 360. They had a reveal event on MTV, and then they had the official press conference during the E3. So I think that they're going to do that. And Paris, I'm with you on that, man.
So allow me to retort. PlayStation 4 was done as a response to Xbox and Scorpio being announced at E3 leading into the holiday season.
No, it wasn't.
Hell, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't, because the Pro, the Pro had been rumored since GDC last year.
Rumored, but they didn't have their announcement, and it didn't go on sale until right before the holiday season. They didn't want to wait until after Microsoft had made their full-on announcement, potentially E3 2017. Nintendo already said it's going 2017. They were going on. Hold on, they were going on sale before E3, so they could, if they weren't doing it at E3 last year, they couldn't do it at E3 2017. Microsoft has already stated end of 2017. So yeah, E3 is the perfect avenue for them to announce at E3.
I'm confused. I'm literally confused.
I'm very confused.
I'm confused on what you're saying because you're saying that the PlayStation 4 Pro was the exact result of Microsoft announcing Scorpio at E3 last year. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that they sold it as a result of Microsoft's thing to get into the market of the Pro before Microsoft did. But and it happened, and it led right into the holiday season. They weren't going to wait until after.
I disagree. And you can listen to our own show about this. Sony and developers had leaked this back at GDC because Sony had already come to developers and were talking about the Pro, that they were launching that thing holiday last year. And literally the specs that leaked from GDC last year and the launch window that leaked from GDC last year is exactly what happened. Nothing changed. Nothing about the Scorpio being announced at E3 changed Sony's mind. We speculated that during the entire summer. And at the end of the day, the specs that were rumored last spring is exactly what we got. Sony didn't blink with anything that Microsoft did at E3. If anything, it could be the reverse, that this was an exact counter to what Sony was doing versus what Microsoft was doing. So in other words, Microsoft saw that Sony was going to introduce a mid-tier console into the market that did 4K. So Microsoft said, well, you know what? We're going to do the same thing. It'll be a year later, but it's going to be twice as powerful or whatever the hell it's going to wind up being at the end of the day. I don't think the Pro had anything to do with Scorpio, but the Scorpio could be argued was the result of Sony doing the Pro. In my opinion, from what we saw last year, I could be wrong too. I don't know. What do you think, Danny?
I think you're right. That's the reason why they showed that video at the end of their press conference, because they knew and Microsoft thought that Sony was going to announce or show the PlayStation Pro during E3, and they didn't. But at least they let that out. We have Scorpio coming next year. And I think that's the reason why also Sony didn't show the Pro during E3 was because of the rumors of the Scorpio. Plus, they wanted to promote more about their new product, PlayStation 4, the PlayStation VR. So I don't know. I agree with Paris with that. Pete, I think you're totally wrong, man. Name me all these consoles that came out. Every single one of them had their own press conference before E3. Every single one of them. Xbox One, PlayStation 4 Pro, and also now with the Nintendo Switch. So I think you're way off, man. But that's just my opinion.
Okay.
All right, so let's go with another voicemail. All right, so this is about Microsoft isn't investing more on first party. Let's play this voicemail right
that's
now.
a good one. Yeah.
First of all, just want to say love what you do. Big fan of the show. My name is Tomas, and I had a question. I was just wondering, with all the money that Microsoft has, why haven't they bought a Blizzard? Like, why don't they have a Naughty Dog? Why haven't they invested more in first party? I was just wondering if you could shed some light on it, because I was just thinking, like, if they had a Blizzard or something, if they had an Overwatch and it was exclusive, they'd be in first place. I don't know. I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it. Thank you. Bye.
All right, so we're back here. Thanks for the call. Your thoughts, guys. Again, I think they are investing, not in first party, but they are investing on maybe exclusive titles with third parties and stuff. And I think the last time we got to see them investing more on a first party company is when I think the developers of Minecraft, even before that, was Rare. Is there any other companies?
Yeah, I wanted to jump in on that because, I mean, think about it. The ultimate example of Microsoft, buying a company to boost their first party portfolio goes back to the original Xbox, and that would be Bungie with Halo. I mean, I think that's the gold standard right there on them getting a company, getting an IP, and look, here we are now, 17 years later, and we're still talking about that IP, even though Bungie is now left, to go do their own thing with Activision and Destiny. But Rare can be argued as being a failure. I mean, if you look at all the IPs that they inherited from Rare, here we are now in 2017. Name me the most relevant Rare IP right now.
Rare Replay.
Viva Pinata for me.
Rare Replay.
but again, Viva Pinata's dead. They're no longer making that game. I mean, look at what happened with Perfect Dark Zero. Cameo never got traction. Banjo-Kazooie, what they tried with that wasn't a success. That's what I'm saying. If you look at those IPs that they inherited from Rare, I can't think of one right now that's relevant. Maybe they reboot something and it becomes relevant. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Banjo-Kazooie platformer at E3. But, Rare, it can be argued, they took that studio, which was such a huge developer during the 90s for Nintendo, and then they got it in the 2000s with Microsoft, and they wind up being the Kinect guys. They wind up being the guys that did the avatars. They never had that super big AAA IP that came out of that studio. I mean, even now with Sea of Thieves, I was actually anticipating that at one point in time, but then my anticipation for that has fallen off even. I mean, I don't know what it's really going to be. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to be a hardcore experience. It looks like it's going to be more
Instinct,
of a casual.
Well, Killer Instinct is not Rare, though. Like, now, it's from another company that worked on that game. I mean, it was from the creators of Rare. Like, the original console came from them, but the past few games that have been coming out, that's from another developer that worked on it. So.
I could tell you, going back to his voicemail, an opportunity, and this again, rumor and speculation, we don't know how true this is, an opportunity that Microsoft did drop the ball on. I don't know if you remember this, Danny and Pete, but remember after Mass Effect came out, there was a big rumor that Microsoft was just going to straight up acquire BioWare. And they did.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
They didn't, because again, revisionist history. Imagine if after Mass Effect came out, which at the time was an exclusive title, third-party exclusive title for Microsoft, if they would have acquired BioWare, Mass Effect 2 and just all the BioWare IPs would be exclusive to Xbox right now. Think about that. That would be huge for them.
That would have been huge. Yeah. And the thing too, remember they also purchased Lionhead Studios, and look now.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's the other one. Done. Yeah, they're gone.
That's another one. So yeah. Pete, you have anything to say about about this?
Well, I mean, they didn't completely lose out. I mean, they still got, was it Casey Hudson to run, the HoloLens and Xbox divisions. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Microsoft still did, in a sense, pick up a BioWare head for their division. But I just don't know if there's anything out there right now that I mean, Microsoft would have to look into the crystal ball to pretty much try and find that piece of coal to turn into a diamond, right? And with Halo falling out after Bungie leaving and 343 trying to pick up the pieces and unfortunately failing, it's extremely difficult to try to predestine what's going to be that next IP or studio combo. And with so many studios vying for attention now, it's kind of hard to see through all of that. It's going to be really, really hard. I don't even know if it would be financially viable for them to try and buy like a CDPR type studio that already has that and try to continue that legendary game after game after game type experience. I think what they're trying to do, probably similar to what they're trying to do with Rare and Sea of Thieves, is try to start from the beginning. Yeah, it's going to be that much more difficult because it is a brand new IP. I mean, hell, everybody's looking forward to Scalebound and saying, look what just happened. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's hard to find that combination. And unless they're there at the beginning, at the grassroots level, from the beginning of development and seeing it all the way through development, through production and final sale and hoping for success. I mean, it's like winning the lottery. It's going to be one of those 1 in a million opportunities. And they had it with Halo. Obviously, you know, the Forza studio, you know, the Forza game itself, that continues to be their shining light, their AAA. But it's not enough, especially when you've got, you know, like Naughty Dog, you know, inherently tied to Sony. And they continue to drop not just one game, but they've got 2 titles in The Last of Us and Uncharted that they're just, you know, knock your socks off type AAA IPs. And it's really difficult for, you know, someone, you know, a company like Microsoft to try to find that at the beginning, especially when you've got the Sonys and or the Nintendos both vying and looking for those, you know, those next IP potential titles that could move them into the future.
Well, all right, we have another voicemail. This is from Brandon, all the way from Orlando, and he has a few comments about E3.
Hey, Gamertag Radio, this is Brandon from Orlando. Disregard the sound outside. I'm at the airport. I wanted to comment on the opening E3 to the public. I think and the people going there, I honestly think it'll be similar to what the opinion has been about sporting events nowadays, where you have people that go to the event who they love the spectacle and being able to see it live, but there's the ability to see the rolling scroll on the bottom of all the stats and score update and being able to see it from all the different angles, something that you can't see when you're there in person, is going to really... E3 doesn't lend itself to that. When I take a week off every single summer to watch E3, I don't have the ability to go to Los Angeles to watch it. I sit down in front of my computer and watch it all day because I'm able to see every single angle. I'm able to see the analysis, see the interviews, rather than have to run around Los Angeles just to get all the news that I would need. And I think that this first year, a lot of people who are going to go to it are going to have a problem with it. But that's my opinion. All right. Thank you.
All right. Before we say anything, because I want to save this for after we play the interview. First of all, Brandon, everybody else have been calling and sending us email. Thanks. Keep it up. This is great. So I'm going to play the interview right now with Rich Taylor from the ESA. We had a great conversation about why E3 is open to the public and all these changes and so on. So once we come back, we're going to comment about this interview. All right? We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Back on the scene.
This is Gamertag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
Hey, it's Rich Taylor. I'm Senior Vice President for Communications and Industry Affairs at the Entertainment Software Association.
All right, Rich, man, welcome back. I know we had you last year. We talked a lot about E3 and everything, and this year is going to be a big change for you guys. But first off, welcome to GTR once again. But I know a couple of days ago, you guys announced that E3 is going to be open to the public for the first time. My question is, how long you guys been working on this, and how's it been like the feedback from like your business partners, like other companies that are planning to have booth at E3?
Right. Well, the work at an E3 pretty much begins as soon as or even during whatever E3 is going on. So we're working on E3 15 while we're going through E3 14 and 16 during 15, and we were working on 17 last year. We're getting, real-time feedback from attendees, exhibitors during the show, and then obviously we survey folks after that, and then we talk, very intently and intensely with those on the ESA board and the leadership of the industry to help begin shaping what they want the next edition of the show to be, and how it can best hit all of our key audiences and be of benefit to them. And that steered us to some of the decisions that we're pleased to announce and share this week.
So if somebody now asks you, E3 2017, is it going to be more like Gamescom, or is it going to be more PAX, or just totally different from those two?
It'll still be uniquely E3. I mean, one of the things about E3 that makes it so unique and makes it such a juggernaut is the fact that it remains the venue and the place and the time for so many product launches and unveilings. So that will remain the same. I think the experience will likely feel similar to E3 and as it's been in the past, with the addition of more people and more consumers who can actually access the show and bring the energy and love of games right into the hall, where previously they may have been following it, online or through one of the console streams or whatever it might be. Now they can actually be a part of it in real life. We're thrilled with that, and we'll be having some more announcements down the pike about other sort of elements that will be a part of that experience. But first and foremost, the big news is just they'll be there in the halls of the Los Angeles Convention Center and being part of the unveilings and the excitement that makes that week so special.
I know last year there was like a little experiment. You guys had like a little open to the public type event, but close to the convention.
Mm-hmm.
What was it the things that you guys learned from last year that you wanted to make, more better changes for this year event?
Well, I think what that confirmed was there's an appetite from folks who have not traditionally been a part of E3 to be a part of the experience, to be close to it, to be near it, and just even that experiment and effort that we put together last year, E3 Live, shows that there were folks who really wanted to be near the epicenter of all the action. And then over the course of the past, many months, we decided that instead of having them just at the, near the action, let's invite folks to be a part of the action and add to that. I mean, I think it's additive. I think it'll be beneficial, not just for those who get to experience E3 for the first time, perhaps, but also for those who exhibit and those who attend. And I think that the influx and fusion of this energy will be really something unique and special.
Now, my question about E3 this year is that there's been a lot of concerns, especially from the independent gaming media, that it's probably going to be a lot tougher for them to maybe not only cover the game, but maybe to book appointments because of the amount of people that are going to be attending E3. Is there anything that you could tell them, for those who are listening to the show, not to be worried, or what? Like, what are the things that you guys are going to be working on behind the scenes to make not only the independent media, but everybody so everybody could be happy, man? Because, when there's a lot of people, it could be very challenging to go to different locations when it goes to like from one appointment to the next appointment, So what you have to say about that?
Danny, you have to hustle, man.
Of course, every time.
I know it. Well, I'm hustling too. So no, I mean, it'll be, the outlets that who have been there in the past, will be there again, and they'll operate in the same way they always have. They'll be presumably booking time and appointments of those they're trying to seek time with, and getting those interviews and those one-on-ones. There'll be more people around, but they'll still be the core people you're wanting to reach and talk to, I honestly, it's our intent to have this be something that is beneficial for all, increases the value of E3 in terms of return on investment for those who both exhibit and attend, and those who cover it. We just want this to be something that's great. And I think, the ability to not only talk to the game developers and makers, but maybe in real time, from your perspective, talk to some of the consumers and fans to get their real initial reaction on what they're seeing on the ground. Some of these new titles and new technologies is probably, we've just brought something right to your doorstep that wasn't there before as well. So hopefully it all works out to be something that proves to be beneficial across the board.
Now, for those that are planning to register to E3, especially the media outlets out there, was there a reason why it hasn't been open, the registration? Because, sometimes I know this is always around January, late December, it opens up. But I feel like this year was kind of different. Was there a reason for that?
I have to check the particulars on the dates. I think that date's moved around over different years. There's nothing kind of grander than that in play. It's all about sort of making sure everything's operational and ready to roll, and the plans are in place for how we want E3 to be. And then again, those processes go underway. But it won't keep you from getting there, I assure you.
Yeah. I was reading that Jeff Keighley is also he announced a partnership with you guys now for this year's E3. How that partnership came about, and why Jeff Keighley? Shout out to Jeff, man. He's supporter of GTR, man. So.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to, I said some of the announcements hopefully will be coming down the way, but we wanted this to offer consumers and those who are attending, just more than just opportunity to queue up and experience the games. We wanted to create a kind of exciting ecosystem of all the things that make games interesting. So, there may be other elements that is when you attend the E3 as a consumer, you have access to beyond the traditional queuing up and experience the games, which of course is going to be the core thing. But we have some other things in the works, and Jeff's a great partner to work with in terms of conceiving of and actually executing on those things. So we're looking forward to that. Known him for a long time. We've actually talked for a long time about looking for ways to work together more formally. Obviously, we see each other at events around the calendar, and it's a good friend, but I think this is going to be one of those partnerships that really produces something special.
Yeah, I know every year is challenging for you guys to work on this event, man. So, what's it been like the challenge? What has been like the challenges for you for this year for you guys?
Well, I mean, it's almost the same every year. Now you're just trying to find that right recipe. If you're making a chili and you put in too much chili powder, you've messed up the whole pot. No matter what, if all the other ingredients are right. If you're making a cake and you dump too much flour in there, it's going to ruin that too. So we're trying to get the right amount of every piece, ingredient, what different members and companies and exhibitors want, what different, be it retailers are looking for, be it members of the media are looking for, what analysts are looking for, and now what, we think of consumer attendees are going to be looking for, and trying to put all that in a way that, when it comes out of the oven in June, that everyone thinks this is just, that's pretty sweet. You guys hit it. So the challenge is just getting it right, but that's the same challenge every year. We have very much a new element in play this year, obviously, with the introduction of 15,000 of our closest new best friends. But, I think that's something that's going to be just fantastic. And we've had, talking, to ESA leadership and member leaders, there's what's the right amount of consumers to try? What are the price points we should be trying, and what's the timing of it? All these are little pieces that you have to try and align as best you can to reach consensus upon. And we're just grateful for our members and their input and helping, think differently and think creatively about this show. And I think, matter of fact, let's just make a deal. We'll talk on the other side of E3 or during it, and you'll give me your real-time impressions on it, because I think you're going to be fired up about it.
Yeah, I know that there's going to be 15,000 people that are going to buy tickets in a couple days now. What about? I know in the previous years, you guys have given tickets to different companies for them to invite like their fans and stuff to attend E3. Is that still going to happen too?
I mean, do that sort of we used to call it a prosumer program, where different exhibitors are allotted some passes for their sort of super fans or something like that.
Yeah. So that's still
that will continue as well. I want to make sure that those closest and tightest fans and supporters of our members and exhibitors, they're allowed to bring them in to the fold as well. They won't be. It's not an either or. We'll be doing both of those things.
Oh, so that means there's going to be way more than 15,000 then, Rich. That's a lot of people.
Well, I mean, these are people who have already been there, who have been invited in the past, presumably will be invited again, and then the plus 15,000 that we're doing. So it should be about that clean number, we hope. We'll see. Here's
an idea where a lot of the I've been talking to a lot of friends that been going to E3 for years, and of course, a lot of them are independent journalists and stuff. They would love to see maybe if there's a way for you guys to have like maybe a day that's strictly for the media, or maybe the next day, the public could go, but have like the media to maybe attend E3 first before it gets bum rushed for from the public and stuff. So is that a thing that you guys probably could do for this year's event to make it easier and make everybody happy,
Well, let's before we assume we're not happy, let's do the show and see how it goes. I have a feeling you're gonna be fired up about it, and again, if there are tweaks to be made as we turn the corner and start looking to 18. It's like I said at the beginning of this conversation, we're already thinking that way when we're on the ground and during 17. But before folks start talking about how it needs to be fixed, let's make sure it might not be broke.
Yeah, that's true. True. Anything else, Rich?
No, just looking forward to having you out and seeing you there, and just couldn't be more fired up about it. I mean, the reaction has been unbelievable in terms of the announcements, and overwhelmingly positive. People are fired up, and when you see the excitement of folks who really feel like they, that something really special's happened, they're going to get to go have a chance to see this show that they've always wanted to see. You realize you're part of something special. I mean, we work it day in, day out. But and we never really lose sight of that. But it was really evident this week when you look at the comments and the enthusiasm and the chatter going on, just how special E3 is. And we want to keep it that way. I mean, we're 124 days, 4 hours, and 19 minutes away as you and I speak. So, but who's counting?
Yeah, look at that. Rich has like a calendar countdown right in front of him.
Yep. It just reminds me all the time.
All right, Rich, man. But just shout out to you and also the whole everybody over there at ESA, man. Thanks for being on, and good luck with E3, man.
I appreciate it, and we'll see you out there, buddy.
For sure, man. Take care, man.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Goodbye. Take care.
Back on the scene. This is Gamer Tag Radio.
All right, so that was an interview with Rich Taylor. Thanks, Rich, for joining us, and that was a great interview and everything. And shout out to the whole ESA crew for making it happen. And it was cool that we talked for a good 13, 14 minutes about E3. And your thoughts, guys, about the interview with Rich?
It was a great opportunity to get their opinion, because obviously, us as either gamers or people in the media, we saw that as we saw that as a negative, and I think it was good to hear their version. While people may not agree with it, it's still a decision now we have to move forward and deal with. I think it's a great get for the ESA to have Jeff Keighley on board now to try to mold their vision of making E3 larger in life and a bigger experience than what it has been in years past. I wish them all the luck. Obviously, as not just people in the media, but as gamers, we'll support them and hope and do what we can to try to help them get to that goal. To go to Brandon's original topic, I mean, I've never heard of anybody taking the week off of E3 outside of the industry to try to catch all that, to try to catch all the coverage.
I have in the past, before GTR, I've done that when I was really young.
Yeah,
I was just focused the whole week on just like reading coverage and checking out the forums. And I mean, there's people out there, Pete, that they actually do
I get it, and I get it. I'm not knocking them. Obviously, what people want to do with their life is or with their free time, it's all, that's them. The thing is, the one thing people don't understand when they go, for an example of E3 going public now, what a lot of people don't understand is when you go there, you're not going to catch all of that news. You're not going to catch all of that information. You spend 80% of your time in E3 in line waiting for things.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you're press or media and like us have the opportunity to speak to a dev or a pub, you won't get the news of the day until it's essentially near the end of the day as things get published and pushed out, unless you're getting your updates via Twitter or what have you, but you're not going to get the full story until you can sit down and relax and listen, and either listen to an interview or listen to a podcast or watch the video on YouTube or read up from your favorite website, Beat Reporter. For the most part, unless it's split up, people who are going to E3 as a fan, as a gamer, non-industry related, trying to catch that trying to find out what's the next big thing, like, oh, you're not going to catch that really until the end of the day. So I don't know. It just, again, I'm for it. And as we said last week, I'm okay with fans going, but give us in the media an opportunity to do our things separately and then open the doors up to the herd.
Yep. Paris.
I mean, I don't really have too much to add to it because I think we're kind of just starting to repeat ourselves at this point when it comes to E3. So, I mean, I appreciate the interview with Rich, and we're kind of at a point where we just got to wait and see, man. We got to see how it plays out, when June gets here, and maybe they'll have some more information closer to that time on just how they plan on scheduling everything out and all that. But I mean, if it's just, hey, unlock the doors and it's everyone fend for themselves, then hey, I will take a shot of vodka and I will look to the sky, take a deep breath and walk in, because I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, very quick before we finish this topic. I know Brandon mentioned about finding everything, like find out like the games and everything from home instead of at the event. Sometimes when we're at E3, we probably will miss an opportunity or news about like a certain game that was announced online. But when we're at E3, we'll find out maybe later that day or even after E3. We're like, really? They showed us at E3? And we totally missed and everything. So that happened. That has happened to us in the past. So yeah, just want to say that very quick. And we probably talk about more at E3 once it gets closer to stuff. But send us your feedback. Let us know your thoughts about the interview with Rich. And send us questions. Keep it up. First-time listeners. That's a lot of first-time listeners. They're too shy to send an email or voicemail. Go for it. Look at all these listeners have been supporting us throughout these years. They're still sending us content and questions. And that help us to create, conversations with each other, man. So keep it up. We need your support. So we're going to wrap it up. Head over to gamertagradio.com or play.it/gamertag. Listen to our past episodes there. Share with your friends. And you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio, and other podcast directories.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, before we wrap it up, I have to say, Paris, Pete, I got to see that little tease that now Marvel started to record now, like the movie of Infinity War. Man, that little sneak peek that they showed gave me goosebumps, man. I'm super, super excited about that, man. So your thoughts very quick?
I know Paris is upset. He hates these little teasers and trailer and flicks things because he likes to go in blind. He's derided me in the past every time I've posted a video in our chat. But I can't wait. Infinity War has always been Infinity Gauntlet. The story of the Infinity Gauntlet, the original, is one of my favorite I guess, episodes, or one of my favorite story arcs in comics from, when I was a kid growing up and stuff like that. So to finally see this coming up on the big screen, especially that seeing James Brolin come up as a character and just put his hand in the glove and just get ready. I can't wait. I'm anxious. I'm stoked.
Oof. Harris?
I would just simply say, if you watch that video and you look at they did like a storyboard thing, and you see Thor, if you notice, he's not holding, how do you say it? Mjolnir?
Mjolnir.
It's not Mjolnir. He's not holding a hammer. He's holding something else. Just a little tease. They don't show you exactly what it is, but a little tease. It could be something else. It could be another hammer from a multiverse. I mean, who knows? I mean, obviously some crazy stuff's going to go down in Infinity War. So I'm excited. I like that they went ahead and just confirmed and got it out of the way that Tom Holland is in Infinity War, and they obviously showed Star-Lord as well, along with Tony Stark. So
Spider-Man's a very critical part of the Infinity Gauntlet story. So the original Infinity Gauntlet story, he's part of the group. So can't wait.
Yeah.
Stoked.
Quick question to you guys. Is it possible to see the Defenders also be part of this movie?
Very much so. The fact that they keep dodging the question, they won't 100% say yes or no. That kind of, because if they weren't, they could just straight up, nope, they're not in it, and move on. But they keep dodging it. So I don't think we're gonna full on see like Daredevil, all the Defenders like in action. But I could so see just a quick cameo, just quick, like even if it's just on a video screen, like, oh, well, look in New York, look what these 4 people are doing, that fighting, whatever's coming with Thanos. They'll be in it, probably even if it's just a quick cameo. I would guess.
Yeah, I would say maybe a cameo just to tie them in, because we've seen it. Mm-hmm. We've seen it in the Netflix shows. We've seen how they occasionally they'll drop in the little Easter egg of, oh yeah, because we had that instance of aliens in New York, every once in a while. But from my recollection, neither of those characters were a part of the Infinity Gauntlet story. And because most of it does occur in space, and again, we don't know if this is how it's going to play out, but neither of those 4 characters ever show up. Plus, they're not superpowered, so they can't breathe in space.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Hopefully we get to see Howard the Duck. I'm messing around.
We already have, by the way, Guardians of the...
I know. I know. But that would have been hilarious if you just show up like, hey. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up. And until next time, we're out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.